Yeah. Thank you everyone for giving me opportunity to speak with you and giving me different pleasure to give you all the information about all the tech and how software engineer works and everything else. So I'll be happy to share you with all the details. Please go ahead with your questions. Yeah, sure. So my name is Kuldeep Shirana, and I completed my BTech degree in computational science from DICT Gandhinagar in 2023. Currently, I am working as a software engineer at Cloudera in Bangalore. So most of the work that I do is mostly lies in the DevOps area. So it's basically a cloud-related things, and I work with different technologies like Apache Spark, Airflow, Kubernetes, which is also a Docker orchestration tool, and Docker itself also, etc. And currently, until now, I learn many languages which are very promising and in the emerging technologies right now. So like Golang, TypeScript, and etc. Yeah, that will be it. Yeah. So as I said in my introduction, I completed my degree in DICT Gandhinagar, and if I have to say if I have to say the most important thing that made me in my life, so it's like the environment that I got from my college. So the environment is mostly competitive, and every student is very sincere, and everybody is working with different type of tech and coding and etc. skills. So it make me inspired to create something as well. So I would say that's mostly depends on the environment that I got from my college.
How did you become interested in pursuing a career in the IT industry?
Yeah, so honestly speaking, when I completed my 12th standard, I didn't even know about most of the basic stuff of computers. So, including, I don't know any languages like C language, C++. I don't know anything about the languages. But when I got into the college, there are many technologies that got my attention because everybody love to create some apps and programs related to you guys already created some programs for snack and ladder games or chess or something like that. So this would interest me, and I sometimes wonder that how everything is working. And when you go into YouTube and you search any person or anything you want to learn, let's say you want to learn how WhatsApp works. So if you just type how WhatsApp works, so how this YouTube algorithm search your results, and it will show you the most reviewed results and the recent one and the most popular one. So what is the algorithm that is doing this type of things, and what is the algorithm that are developed by the many promising developers? So this type of questions always gives me a goosebumps, and that's how I became interested in pursuing IT industry.
Okay. Now, what certification or training programs have you completed recently to enhance your skill?
So, as I recall, one of them I learned recently Docker. So it's like a containerized application. So it's a very interesting software. I'll suggest everyone to learn about Docker if you are interested in a DevOps area. Yeah, so right now, actually, you guys are a new generation. So you knew that right now many applications are available online. So including in even in Instagram, you can find many technological pages, and there you can also stay update with the new technologies. I regularly mostly follow LinkedIn new post and newspaper, and sometimes some technical YouTube videos as well. You can also follow some Instagram posts and all that to stay update. Yeah, so till now, my experience as a software engineer is amazing. I got to learn many things, including teamworks and many emerging technologies as well. So I would say being as a software engineer make you feel good.
Why is documentation important in field of software engineering?
So I think there are two parts actually. One is the implementation and the documentation. I would say both are the important thing. Implementation of the coding is as well as important as the documentation, but the documentation comes first because actually the documentation is helps to clarify all the requirement that customer wants. If someone is good at, like, let's say if any one of you is good at building applications in as a coding in a coding, but you are let's say if I told you I want a YouTube application, but you don't know what is the requirement, what are the features that I want in the YouTube that you are going to make. But if you are blindly following the just my talk, like I just say I want to create a YouTube application, you just go and create a YouTube application without following my requirements and anything, so you will build a YouTube application. There is no question, because you are as I said, we are making assumption that you are a good coding expert. But then when you came with me when you come with that product, I always argue that I don't want this requirement, or I want this feature and I want this feature. Then you have to go again and build that features from scratch. So it's like you don't have to do this type of things. So the documentation is, I think, the most important part.
Okay, how does documentation contribute to the overall success of the project?
Yeah, so as I said in the previous question, it will help developers to clarify the requirements that customer wants, and it will help you build the architectures and all the flows, and which are the things that you have to consider in your feature. So in my team, we mostly use Google Docs. Those are good for the internal discussion in between your teams. So if you are doing a team member discussion, then the Google Docs are the easiest way to create a documentation. But after that, let's say if you are presenting the documentation or the final design doc to the customer, so I'll recommend to use a Overleaf software, which is a professional way to represent the documentation. Most important thing to first understand the question, why this project or feature is needed. Uh, the my goal, my what I believe is that when you are creating a new feature or project, you first ask yourself that if it is important, or when you create that feature, it is going to do something or not, or is there any other way or not. And once you decide that thing, try to build some architecture over your project, and then you can try to complete that thing as soon as possible with efficiency.
What techniques do you employ to make documentation more user-friendly for non-technical stakeholders?
Yeah, so for non-technical, they don't know the technical stuff, right? As you said, because if I write just a paragraphs of details, like only the tech things, like this software is doing this and I'm using this algorithm and all that, they don't understand this type of thing. So the most important thing to present in for a non-technical to understand is to create a workflows and flowcharts. We, in an industrial way, we call that those things architectures. So we can create more architectures and add those into the documentation to make it clear and easily understandable.
Is your company certified under ISO standard?
Yeah, it is certified in the ISO standard.
So it's, which one?
It's the ISO 27001 certification, I think. So in my company, one complementary way we evaluate code is to subject it to a static source code analysis, in which source code is inspected by a program that looks for common coding errors, defects, and security vulnerabilities, and this type of thing. So it's basically like a automation thing. It will create an automation to detect all the coding errors and security and vulnerability before giving a product to a customer. We as a company always take a time to feedback and then collect those bugs in our on call. So on call is like we for every week we have a 24 by 7 on call with the customer. One person is always in on call. They have to ensure that there are no bugs. If any customer report any bugs, then we will solve those bugs and give the immediate fix as well.
Can you share an example of how customer feedback has influenced change in processes or product?
As such, now I don't recall any major changes since I am a new employee. But I heard that sometimes when customer asks for something, sometimes I heard that thing from my teammates that they are discussing those things for weeks and weeks. Uh, that was one customer asked, but after that customer changed the requirement, so they have to start the whole documentation and whole the requirements from the sketch. Yeah, thanks everyone.